That's a kangaroo.
Welcome to Australia!
Formula 1 in Melbourne is a big event.
This whole city's humming alive for the Australian Grand Prix.
Checo, te amo, Checo, te amo.
The Cadillac Formula 1 team is in Australia, but they're also working at the exact same time in Silverstone and in Charlotte.
Getting in data from the racetrack.
Those feed into the simulator.
The stiffnesses, the ride heights, thinking about what do we change in the car to make it faster for the next session.
You start thinking about, did we do everything we could do? Is there something we missed? This is not for the faint of heart.
Calm before the storm.
When does the storm start?
This week is something we've been waiting for a long, long time.
This is Cadillac's moment, almost 4 years in the making.
Just over a year ago, the car was just numbers on a screen.
It's just insane that we are where we are, now we've got a car competing in the race.
Hearing the engines roar, watching the lights go out and the cars go forward, I don't know what it's going to be like, to be honest with you, but I can tell you it'll be pretty emotional.
This is a familiar place for you guys. We're in Charlotte at the GM Technical Center. We're doing something a little different with this episode. We're not all in the same spot, and that's because we want to show you guys what exactly happens here during an entire race weekend. Because when you're watching a race on TV, all you see is the trackside team. Those are the drivers, the mechanics, but you're not seeing the hundreds of people who work outside of the trackside team 10,000 miles away.
So Friday, FP1 and 2 are focused around gathering data, working through test items. Saturday is kind of your final opportunity to take a big swing at car setup into FP3 to prepare for both qualifying and the race.
What are you thinking of how Cadillac's going to do in Formula 1?
It'll be a good push, but let's see what happens on the day.
The people that doubt Cadillac, what do you say to them?
We're in it for the long term. I'm confident with the technical capability that we have in the company. The experienced drivers, I'm so excited about both of them. So I would say just watch out.
I think they're going to surprise people in a good way.
The whole thing is about how fast can we get better. GM has the broadest motorsport platform in the world. I'm pretty confident that we're going to get better fast. We have no data until now, not track data, race data. You know, it's a big deal.
You ready for a long night?
I'm in bed usually at this time, guys. Now it's coffee and donuts. Drivers bring donuts.
Awesome.
So FP1 starts with a fundamental checking of the car. The stiffnesses, the ride heights, the basics of the car at the right place.
We set up the car in a window to maximize performance. If the car rolls out the garage in a way that we don't expect, it's quite an important thing to check. Happy with the stiffnesses. Only question mark is rear roll.
A lot of it for them right now is getting used to the car, and it's a street circuit, so the track evolution is massive. Every time you do a lap, the track gets better. More grip.
Those teams are recording all of the data coming off the car, and they're making performance recommendations based on things like aerodynamics and tires. But then they actually can go and test those recommendations on the floor below at the simulator, and then see if they actually can eke out milliseconds of extra performance from the car, and then make those recommendations to the actual race team in Australia.
What I've learned in racing is there's actually no relief. You've got to prepare in a big way for every race. With all the rule changes, the cars have changed in a big way, and obviously we're brand new to the sport. It's about really continuous improvement. That's going to be the focus from here forever.
Jesse.
Jesse, so nice to meet you.
Very lovely to meet you. I'm Josh.
Josh?
What you're doing is so cool. I love the videos. Like the minute they come, I download them. I have to admit, sometimes I watch them on 125 or 150, but just because I'm limited in time. I'm Mary Barr. I'm the chair and CEO of General Motors. Cadillac always represented the ultimate in luxury. When I was a young child, it was like if you got a Cadillac, that meant you made it.
Tonight we debut Cadillac's all-electric range for the region.
You know, this is going to be our first race. What fans are going to see is a commitment to work to be the very best. We're developing our own power unit in the car, and so I think that's the ultimate commitment. So I couldn't be more excited to be a part of this and to have Cadillac competing with the very best.
It's like the throttle pickup, there's like this.
Yeah.
Cliff.
He's staying in 6 now? Just to charge. I'm trying to immerse myself in the car with him to figure out where he's braking, what line he's taking, because the first part of the correlation is make sure that the data we see when I drive is similar to what we saw in real life.
So far, there has been no big surprises in terms of how the car is looking, which is pretty good. As a new team, all the different sensor issues we have had in the past, and from now, We just have to add performance to the car.
We just have to be thrifty with our time and the driver's bandwidth. They're not an infinite resource, so we can't expect a driver to perform at their best for 12 hours.
I'm a father of 3, so you never want to break someone during this process. We have to really make sure that people understand we're pushing that because we want to win. And that winning spirit is something that we can't break. We have to keep that going.
Oh, dude, it's there. Valtteri Bottas. Cadillac is really going all out for this.
When the financial crisis hit, I was delivering Cadillacs into Port Melbourne and we had to cancel it because I needed $1 million to make payroll. And now to have Cadillacs coming in here, we're doing an introduction tonight of the Optic and the Vistic and the Lyrics here, and then have this team in this car here is pretty special.
How'd that correlation session go?
No, it's fantastic.
We're not getting track data, they're not getting dill data. So you don't really know if you were able to correlate the...
No, we definitely didn't.
Yeah, that's what it is.
These are issues that young teams have. They're infrastructure issues. Most fans of F1 don't think my team is really fast because they have the best tech stack. But all of this makes a difference.
There's so many steps in the process to get data from the sensors on the car all the way through to actual analytical results that we can make decisions from. But that whole workflow needs sped up improvement.
The thing everybody forgets about in racing is everybody's done this a long time. Everybody's really smart. And it's not a matter of just getting on the track. You have to be better than the best people out there. The worst quarterbacks in the NFL were the best quarterbacks in college. The cream always rises, and it just takes time. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately.
I think this is going to be a tremendous weekend for us, and I think we're going to see where we're winning and where we have opportunity, and we're just going to keep moving.
People everywhere wearing F1 merch, except us.
So I think we got to do something about that.
Him looking directly at you whilst you change is awesome. In the mold there is a sim setup, similar to the rigs in Charlotte.
From the last time in the simulator, this one is going to be much better.
Yeah, lock in.
What was your time? 148. Same 148?
We're going to collect all that data and we're going to send it over to David, and hopefully that will help them win the race this week.
Success in this game right now is data, and they're not getting enough of it right now.
Lady's asking the question, if limited sensors are working on Bottas' car and no laps for Sergio.
We're in the situation that we hoped we would not be. We're stuck with one car with very limited sensoring. This is not an oversight. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of sensors on this car. All of them have to be properly maintained and calibrated and installed, which is a huge task, especially when we're just at the stage where we're trying to get 2 cars together as best we can just to run.
With the little bits we have, we've made a couple of set of adjustments, like we've raised the ride heights.
It doesn't mean they're not going to run the simulator for the next few hours, and they'll still get through the things that they want to test. It just takes more time.
3 o'clock is not so bad. It reminds me of those 24-hour races I used to do.
I feel remarkably okay, but I mean, ask me in about an hour.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
it's
I'm
going to
waiting
be
for
a
the
rapid,
moment it's going to go like
a rapid crash.
Yeah.
Simon ran the sim for like 9 hours.
Damn.
Is it normal for a driver to be able to do what Simon did?
No. He's pretty extraordinary for putting up with us for all those hours.
They were still able to run a limited test plan, mostly to do with like ride height and stiffness. You know, they made certain recommendations to Xavi and the race engineers, and now they're running FP3.
This is our last chance to physically make a lot of the setup changes on the car.
The simulator should be done for the weekend at this point. It's a risky time to make changes, but you may have to.
The baton almost gets passed from the performance and simulator and operations teams to the race strategy teams.
When we're going to pit, what tires we're going to take, what would be the fastest way to complete the race.
From FP2 to FP3, we certainly saw some improvement, suspension performance and downforce.
Anything we can do to head the traction would be good. It's all about the rear and all car speeds, just not being able to lean at all on the rear axle.
Still got a ways to go.
As soon as you turn a wheel out of the garage for qualifying, you're in park for May, so you can no longer change the car. And now you're working on setting your grid position through the 3 rounds of qualifying, depending on where you end up. You know, everything we've done up until now has been, you know, either testing or practice, so it's super exciting, but we have to be realistic in our expectations today.
Each one of those practices leading up to the qualifying piece of it was really our first experience on a race circuit for a race weekend. And it was impressive, I gotta say, to see everybody overcome the problems we had yesterday. No panic, no crisis, driving through each thing to root cause and get the what we call the red X identified and solved.
Yeah, I haven't slept much. I've been so excited about it. 1984, I was 5 years old, watching Michael and Mario Andretti walk down for the Indy 500. I grew up on a cattle farm in Missouri. You know, that wasn't on anybody's radar. But that was the moment I knew that I needed to be doing something in racing. So it's a big moment for me.
The city's just waking up for this big day. Boom, got the Alpine team, that's pretty cool. Morning, Eric. Big day?
Just hope to finish both cars and take what we learn and move on to the next race and keep on developing.
There's only a few 100 million people watching, so I guess we better go do this.
Nice to see you.
Okay.
Hey, brother. How you doing? Piastri binned it on the laps to grid.
No way.
Yeah.
We just need to survive. That would be a win in itself.
If this was like a time capsule and you could watch this 20 years from now, what would you want to say to your future self?
Oh, that's a heavy, you just dropped a fucking heavy question, David. I hope that we laid the foundations of something here that 5 to 10 years from now is championship capable and that we can be really proud of later on.
It seemed like it was so far away, but now it's here. We will be standing on the grid with the Cadillac Formula 1 car.
People have been kind of reminding us, take a moment to kind of step back and look at what we've done.
You've invested so much, you've come so far so fast.
Having the team produce a vehicle in this time frame at this level is extraordinary.
We all do it because we love it. I think it's just being grateful for this opportunity to be a part of this fantastic team.
In one of the first episodes, Aaron, like, man, I'm gonna be telling my grandkids about this if we do it right.
Was it fun? Yeah.
Standing in this country, on this track, watching the lights go out and the cars go forward and see us actually in the race. I don't know what it's gonna be like, to be honest with you, but I can tell you it'll be pretty emotional. It won't ever happen again the first time. And so, you know, it'll be something I carry forever.
See ya.
See you.